Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a $20 billion deal that has the entire tech world talking. You see, NVIDIA, the king of AI, just made a huge move. And on the surface, it looks like a massive buyout. But the truth? Oh, it's way more interesting than that. So let's start with the number that just sent jaws dropping everywhere. $20 billion. Just to put that into perspective for you, that is an absolutely massive pile of cash, more than what a lot of entire countries produce in a year. And NVIDIA just spent it on one single deal. Now, when you hear a number that big, you're probably thinking they bought some huge, well-established company, right? Nope. This $20 billion is for the assets of a relatively young AI startup, a company called Groq. And this, right here, is where the story starts to get really, really strange. So you have to ask why. Why would NVIDIA, a company that already dominates the AI chip market, make such a gigantic and frankly unconventional bet on a smaller competitor? What in the world does Groq have that's worth $20 billion? To really get this, we've got to understand the company at the center of it all. So who is Groq, and what makes them so special that NVIDIA would open up the vault for them? Well, Groq is not your average startup. It was founded back in 2016 by some of the actual engineers who built Google's Tensor Processing Unit, the TPU. And you know, the TPU is one of the only real challengers to NVIDIA's crown. So right from day one, Groq was basically built to go head-to-head with NVIDIA, making chips for super, super fast AI. But what's truly mind-blowing is this timeline. Okay, get this. In September of 2025, Groq was valued at just under $7 billion. Pretty impressive, right? But then just 3 months later, NVIDIA comes along with a deal that values their assets at $20 billion. That's almost a 200% jump in value in just 90 days. I mean, that's just insane. So what's Groq's magic trick? It's all about something called AI inference. You know, if training an AI is like sending it to school to learn everything, inference is the final exam, or maybe more like the live performance. It's the moment the AI uses its knowledge to give you an answer right now. Think of that instant response from a chatbot. That's inference. And Groq figured out how to make that process blindingly fast, with basically zero delay, or what the industry calls low latency. All right, now this is where things get really, really interesting. For $20 billion bucks, you'd think NVIDIA would just buy Groq, the whole company, lock, stock, and barrel. But that is not what happened. Not even close. This chart just perfectly breaks down how weird this deal is. In a normal buyout, the whole company gets absorbed. Here, NVIDIA is only licensing Groq's technology and their patents. Groq is going to keep operating as its own independent company. And their whole cloud business, not even part of the deal. It's like buying this secret recipe from a famous chef, but leaving the chef and the restaurant to keep doing their thing. And don't just take my word for it. Here it is, straight from the source. NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, he sent an email to his employees making it crystal clear. He said, yep, we're adding their talented people and licensing the IP, but we are not acquiring Groq as a company. This was a surgical strike, not a full-on takeover. So what is the master plan here? Why pay a history-making price for a deal that isn't even a real acquisition? What is NVIDIA really up to? Well, the answer is all about NVIDIA's grand vision to build what they call an AI factory. Think of it as a one-stop shop, a single, massive platform that can do any AI job you throw at it. And Groq's super-fast inference tech, that was a critical piece of machinery they were missing from their factory floor. And this chart just hammers home how huge this is. NVIDIA's biggest purchase before this was Mellanox, back in 2019, for $7 billion. This Groq deal is nearly 3 times bigger. That tells you everything you need to know about how vital this low-latency technology is for NVIDIA's future. And you might be wondering, how can they even afford this? Well, at last count, NVIDIA was sitting on over $60 billion in cash and short-term investments. So, yeah. They have the firepower to make these kinds of massive, game-changing moves and not even blink. But look, this deal isn't just about NVIDIA and Groq. This is a massive move in the great AI chip race, and it's sending shockwaves all across the tech industry. You see, this move shows NVIDIA is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. I mean, you've got all of the other tech giants fighting over AI talent, you've got startups like Cerebras raising tons of cash, and NVIDIA? They're just using their massive war chest to absorb the best tech and the brightest minds before they even become a serious threat. So when you boil it all down, what you have is a brilliant two-part strategy. On one side, it's defense. They're taking a dangerous potential rival off the board. And on the other side, it's offense. They're grabbing a best-in-class solution for the exploding market for high-speed AI inference. It's really about protecting their kingdom while conquering new territory at the same time.
And really, this whole deal leaves us with a pretty big question about the future of innovation in AI. In this high-stakes race where a few giants with incredibly deep pockets are calling the shots, is the new strategy for winning no longer about out-innovating everyone else, but just being rich enough to buy their best ideas?